I just got a $37 shop at the Walmart right here, but I wanted to talk to you real quick before I run in there about expensing your vehicles. If you are a gig worker, I know there's a lot of you that don't properly expense your vehicles, or I should say don't properly account for the expensing of your vehicles. These cars are just tools. You have to expense them, which essentially means you have to set aside money as you're earning it and make sure you're focusing on profit and not focusing on revenue, right? Revenue is I'm getting $10 to take this order 10 miles. $10 is revenue, right? Profit is, hey, to drive 10 miles, that's going to cost me $5 because 50 cents a mile or whatever you want to expense your vehicle at. So really that order is paying you $5, not 10. And the reason I know a lot of you don't think about things this way is because I see lots of not only not profitable orders, but orders that actually would cost the driver money to do. And they get picked up. Somebody's picking up those orders. And I mean, I've literally seen tons of orders that, like I said, it's not even a break even. It will cost you money to do it. And the problem is most drivers, I think, only really think top of mind gas. They think about what does it cost per mile for gas. But they don't tend to factor in and account for things like depreciation, which is a very real thing that you have to factor in because at some point this car is going to wear out and you're going to have to buy a new car. And if you're not pulling out the cash to depreciate that vehicle and set it aside, you're going to have a hard time buying another car. Things like maintenance, oil changes, things like that, transmission flushes, tires, that's all part of it. Things like future repairs. You're putting hard miles on your car, you're going to have repairs, right? And so when you look at the IRS tells you to expense 67 cents a mile. I say just do 50 cents at least. The reason I like 50 cents is because that's easy math, right? It's real easy math. And honestly, 50 cents a mile is more than most of you are actually expensing. If you want to really figure out what your cost is for your specific car, you can do that too. But if you don't do that, at minimum, I recommend you need to be setting aside 50 cents a mile. That means if you go drive for a week and you put 1,000 miles on your car, out of your revenue, you need to set aside $500 in a savings account. That $500 can pay your car payment, can pay for your gas, can pay for your oil changes, any maintenance, you need new tires, you have a repair, right? You have to set that money aside. If you really start to think of these opportunities in terms of profit and not revenue, it will help you make better decisions. You will no longer be taking $3 orders, $4 orders, things like that. You will factor in return miles on a lot, depending on where you live. Out where I'm at, there's like a central location and houses 20 miles that way, houses 20 miles that way, houses 20 miles that way. I see orders all the time that I just laugh and go, nope, ain't doing that. I just had one. It was offering $15 to go 20 miles. You think, oh, well, $15? No. I have to go 20 miles out and then I have to come 20 miles back. There's no jobs out there, right? There's a reason they're ordering pizza 20 miles away. It's because there's no closer pizza places. So nobody, under the only circumstance that somebody should take that or would take that order, or it would make sense, is if you're done with your shift and you live out there, right? So I understand there are circumstances where it would make sense the numbers don't really matter because you're going to drive there anyway. If that's the case, fine, take that order, get the $15 on your way home. But think about this. If you're just thinking, say it paid $25, and you get kind of excited, like, oh, it's $25. Yeah, the mile sucks. It's 20 miles, but it's better than $1 a mile. No, it's not. You have to include those return miles, right? If you're going out 20 miles, you got to come back 20, right? So that's 40 miles on your car, 50 cents a mile. That's $20 in expense, like a legit $20. You're not going to have to shell all of it out tonight, but those future repairs are going to come up and get you. Gas, you will have to shell out pretty quick. Maintenance, you'll have to shell out, within the next few months probably. And then the big one is that depreciation, because your car's not going to be worth anything by the time you're done with it, right? So I want to do this quick video because I think it's important. And I think if you physically started pulling that money out, I know a lot of you, some of you do, but a lot of you I don't think do this. You know, if you make $1,000 this week and you look and you drove 800 miles, you need to take $400 of that 1,000 and stick it in your savings account. And a lot of you are going to say, I can't afford to do that. I have rent. I have this. I have that. If you can't afford to do that, that means you're not taking profitable jobs. And that's my point. You're taking jobs that are not profitable because in your head, you're looking at the revenue, right? And you're just driving 80 miles an hour towards this cliff. And you're about to run over this cliff when your car breaks down and you're going to be in trouble and you're not going to have any savings. So if you're not earning enough money, if you're not taking the type of jobs that you need to take so that you can afford to set aside 50 cents a mile, you are going broke, right? That's it. You're going broke. You're not making any money. Okay. The reason I thought about this today is because, you know, DoorDash is like super popular all of a sudden. And I haven't even really looked into the reasons why, but I mean, I'm honestly super stoked for her. That's awesome. I subscribed to her probably close to a year ago. Back when she just had like, 500 subscribers. I liked her DoorDash videos. Walmart suggesting I go ahead and shop heading to the pickup location. Okay, so I'm set up. But anyway, she made a point in one of her most recent videos where she was talking about her struggles when she started. And when she first started, sometime in the beginning, she had put 50,000 miles on her car in the first 3 months, or in 3 month period. And I started thinking to myself, number one, how did she even do that? But number two, if she had to drive so much and she was taking orders that were so far away or so many orders, I have to hope she made a ton of money. And I know DoorDash paid a lot more money back then. You know, she said she was making like $200 to $300 a day. I think most of you would be hard pressed to make $200 to $300 a day with just DoorDash now. But 50,000 miles, you got to figure she should have set aside $25,000 for expenses. That's 50 cents a mile, you know? And I'm talking gas, car payment, depreciate, all that stuff. Well, something tells me she didn't make $25,000 on DoorDash those 3 months where she drove 50,000 miles. So that's a problem. If she's having to drive 50,000 miles to make some amount of money that's anywhere near 25 grand or less, she's not making any money. She just took a car and ran it into the ground for no profit, right? And she even mentioned she had to put 2 different transmissions in that car. I think it was $4,000 a piece. So my point is, you have to focus on profitable rides. Look at all the rides and in your head go, this is going to cost me 50 cents a mile. Because if you see a $10 order for 10 miles and you think, well, that's going to cost me 5. So is this something I want to do for 5? Now all of a sudden it doesn't look as attractive. You might not take it. You might make a better decision. Also, you're going to look at, where does that leave me? Am I going to have to come back 2, 3, 4, 5 miles before I get my next job? Because if you are, guess what? You can't go out 10 miles and come back 10 miles and make $10. Because then you made 0, right? You made 0. You did it for free. You just got paid for your expense. That's it. No profit. So hopefully this helps. Start thinking of this in terms of profit, not just revenue. And if you don't know where to start with at least 50 cents a mile. And then you can, figure out specifically for your car if you want, how much per mile for gas, how much overall is it going to cost for, ongoing maintenance, what's the estimated future repairs, what's the car worth and what's it going to be worth when I sell it, and then put all that into a per mile ratio. And then you can figure out exactly what your expenses are. But short of doing that, figure at least 50 cents, okay? That will help you make better decisions. And that will allow all drivers to make more money, because if nobody takes the crappy orders, these gig apps will raise the price until somebody does. So stop taking the crap. Don't take the crap. Help out your fellow drivers and yourself at the same time. Peace.